Hello everybody, Fernando here. Today I'm going to talk about the money mistakes to avoid in your 20s. Stick around. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, click on the bell to get notifications on new videos, new cool videos like this one. And I'm gonna go over the 6 main mistakes you can make in your 20s money-wise. So the first one, it's the ego. And I've talked about the ego on this channel before. So imagine like this, you have developed parts of your brain and you have the lizard brain, the primitive brain right here. The primitive brain is the one that's hard to control, especially when you are young. And I had this problem. I'm almost 40 now, so I have like 20 years of experience ahead of you guys. And what happened was I was so full of energy, and really very energetic, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and work hard, so I had like a lot of guts, but I lacked control over my ego, over my primitive brain. You can say you can also say refer to this as emotional intelligence. So what you have to keep in mind is that your primitive brain wants to judge everybody and everything, wants to blame others, so it avoids responsibility. It's emotional, so it tries to control your body and your emotions. So it makes you super happy, and then it can make you super sad. So you have to use the developed parts of your brain to control your ego. Also, the ego, he wants immediate rewards. So every time you want something for now and you want immediate pleasure, you have to realize that your ego is taking control. So it's important for you not to let the ego take in control. Another thing, bursts of anger, trying to fight with people, being bipolar, trying to like super sad and then happy, super sad. So these are the things that you must control on your ego, trying to feel special, because the primitive brain is very good for situations of life or death, but in general society, in modern society, it can be really, really bad, and the ego also tries to disguise as you, so it has a sense of personality and yourself, but it tries to please yourself all the time and tries to make you feel good, but based on very primitive reactions. So it's important to realize that and use the developed parts of your brain to control your ego. That's why people talk about meditation. It's hard to see 20 years olds talking about meditation, but one of the things that it's important about meditation is realize what the ego is telling you and controlling the ego and having more control of your body and of your reptile brain. Okay, the other thing that you need to take care to manage your money, mistakes that you have to avoid in your 20s, is bad friends. Because bad friends, they want you to party non-stop. They do not do budgeting. They are not responsible. So if you follow their steps, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes with them. So if you have people that are trying to develop themselves and to become better human beings and to make a career, to make a company, not only trying, speaking, talking, but actually trying to do it and trying to become responsible and take control of their lives, then you're gonna be much more, you have much higher chances to succeed than to waste time with friends that are fun, but they're not thinking about their futures. They're not really trying to become someone in their future, just there for the party and letting their emotions taking control. Okay, the other thing that you have to take control is negative thoughts. Like I said, the primitive brain, your ego, it's very emotional. So you have to be auditing your thoughts every day. And every time that there is a negative thought, you have to shush the ego. You have to say, ego, shut up. You know, you're trying to take control of this mind, you're trying to take control of this body, but you are a primitive brain. So stop the negative thoughts. Let's think of a brighter future. Then we need to look ahead, you know. And it's really important to establish big goals, because when you establish big goals and you quit the negative thoughts and you start thinking of how can I become that person, how can I achieve that amount of money, how can I achieve wealth, you're gonna start thinking about ways to do that. And when you start doing that, like for over a decade, it becomes an habit, and that habit becomes your future. So that's why it's really important to aim high. And let's say you're aiming for $100 million and you didn't get it, but you got 5 instead. That's way better than nothing, you know? So you achieve 5% of your big goal, but you end up with 5 million. So that's really good. So that's why it's really important to set up big goals. Okay, number 4, listening to opinions. So you have to listen to people that done what you're trying to do, that already are there where you want to be. If you're listening to your neighbors, to your friends that don't have much experience, you're not going to get a lot of great advice. And if you're trying to be, for example, a businessman, and your father has never been a businessman, he's not going to be able to give you advice. That's what happened to me. You know, my father, he worked for the government all his life, and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So it was very hard for him to help me and to accept my choice of life. Number fifth, being materialistic. So remember, companies, the brands are trying to get your money all the time, and you have to realize that. You have to be smart to realize that the companies want your money all the time. And sometimes, of course, you want to live, you are in your 20s, so you want to do stuff, but you also have to be careful with brands completely manipulating you. So you have to be aware of that. So if you start spending money on clothes, on expensive cars, invest in courses, even when you invest in a trip, you're kind of investing in yourself because you're opening up your mind. But courses, books, travel, all those things, they make you a better person. So you have to invest on things that make you better, that can increase your income. Stock, real estate, a business, those are all things that can get you, that can bring you money. So you have to budget the things that you want to do, because if you don't budget, what's going to happen? The company is going to take all the money. All the companies, they're gonna put a bunch of ads in front of you, and you're going to take all of your money, because 1, you're not budgeting, 2, they're completely manipulating you and you don't realize that. So you have to realize that people want your money. The brands, they want your money. So everything you say, whoa, that's so cool. Yeah, it is cool. That's how they get your money. So be aware of that, because there's a difference between accepting something as cool and giving the money to have that cool thing that can have like not a lot of value for your life, especially if you have, like I said, bad friends. Because let's say you go to the Gucci store or some other expensive store and you spend a bunch of money on clothes. Your friends, the ones that don't study, that don't have any they don't want to get better in life, they're gonna look at you and say, oh my God, you are so cool, look at all these Gucci clothes you bought, you are the boss, you are the man. But they don't realize that the brands are taking your money to make them rich, and you are supposed to be building your empire in your 20s So even if you have a job, you can do a side hustle, you can study on the weekends, you can start making your YouTube channel or start an online store. You can start building your side hustle, so it will become your main stream of income, and then you can make more money in the future. And then with the budget in place, you can say, now I'm making like $20,000 per month. I can buy my Gucci stuff if I want to, but you're gonna realize that your confidence and your ability to make money is gonna be so awesome that you will not need any brands, and you want the money working for you instead of making some guy in Italy rich. Okay. Another thing, and last thing that you need to be aware of is unhealthy addictions. And it's not only drugs, but it's also alcohol, which is a drug, but it's legal. It's foods, it's porn, it's gambling, everything. All those addictions are really bad for you. And they go right into your ego, right into your primitive brain to take control of you. So you have to be careful with those conditions. Drugs, they're not going to be good for you. Even the drug dealers, they don't take their drugs. Alcohol, it can be really bad for you. Of course, you're 20s, you want to live, but be responsible. If you're drinking, don't drive. Make sure you don't lose total control of yourself. Have a plan to work and also party, but have that plan defined. Because if party takes control of your life, you're not gonna get anywhere. And that was something that happened to me. In my early 20s, I wanted to party every day. And I had a friend that he partied really, really hard, but every time there were exams, he was just vanished because he knew that week he had to study for the tests. So I learned with him. I said, okay, yeah, he's right. I'm gonna party in my vacation. I'm gonna party in the beginning of the semester, but then I have to lock myself down and study and pass the tests. Gambling, porn, foods, all of these things can ruin your 20s and get you a very bad start on your 30s, and you're gonna regret that. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, try to think like this: what I'm gonna do today that in my 30s I'll be thankful for me. So in my 30s I have to be thankful for something. For example, myself. My sister always liked to study languages, and I kind of followed her path. What happened to me is that now I'm very thankful. You kind of noticed I'm not English native. So now I'm very thankful that I speak 4 languages, because I did all those classes when I was a teenager and I learned all those languages. So do something that yourself in the future is gonna thank you later. So these are my tips for you. They're kind of general, but they all relate to money in the end. Remember, you're responsible for this life. Kill the ego. Have control of your emotions. Budget your things, and believe you can achieve great things, and you will. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a businessman, be careful not to create yourself a job. There are 2 ways to become rich being a businessman. You can go to high scalability or high magnitude. If you are somewhere in between, you just got yourself a job. So if you really want to get rich, you have to go high scalability. You're selling something online, you're selling 300 units per day, or you're going high magnitude. You're so good at something that people are paying you millions to do that something. Like, for example, you are a realtor in a very expensive area, or you are software engineer that you're the best in the field, and people are paying $300,000 per year for you because you are the best on that specific task. Okay, so those are my tips for you. I hope you like this video. please give the thumbs up to help me with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe because we're doing more videos for you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.